Morning children. So it's time to start with the studies now, and in social science today we are going to learn about the globe, a model of the earth. So in the previous classes we have learned a lot about our earth. Our earth is the fifth largest planet in the solar system. Okay, our earth is the third nearest planet to the sun. Our earth is the only planet on this solar system which supports life. Isn't it? Yeah, in the previous classes we have learned all these things. And we have also learned that the shape of the earth is almost a spherical one. So, this earth, which has got a lot of features like seas, oceans, rivers, lakes, mountains, plains, plateaus, forests, deserts, ice-packed regions. This beautiful earth that we have is the only planet that supports the life on the solar system. Long ago, very long ago, people believed earth as a flat body. They never believed earth as a round body. See, the problem is, when we look on this earth and when we look around us, we can see everything as a flat body. Right? Only when we look at this from a distance, moon also is a very big body, a heavenly body. As there is a very long distance in between the moon and the earth, we can see moon as a round object because we are watching from a bigger or a very far away distance. In the same way, if we look at the earth from a very long distance, say from the space, or if we get a chance to go to the moon and look at the earth from the moon, then again our earth will be seen as a round object. Right? The problem is, in the ancient days, these people never had technology. Right? They never had any technology to prove that the earth is round. Right? About 450 years ago, there was a Polish astronomer. His name was Copernicus. So, a Polish astronomer. Polish means it's not the polish that we apply on the shoes. Okay. Polish means one who belongs to the country called Poland. Okay. A person from the country called Poland is called Polish. Astronomer means, astronomer is a person who study about the sky, the stars, the heavenly objects and all. Okay. So, an astronomer is a person who study about the stars and the heavenly objects over there, and this man belonged to the country called Poland, and that is why he is known as a Polish astronomer, and his name is Copernicus. Okay? So there was a Polish astronomer called Copernicus who said earth is not flat, it's round. He said, earth is not flat, it is round. But nobody was ready to believe it. Nobody was ready to believe it. They said, this man is spreading false things among the people. They arrested him, they punished him, and asked him to change his statement. See, He was a person, he was a studied person, he was a learned person, and he had been observing things for a long years. He had even made a crude model of a telescope also. Okay, but nobody was ready to believe it. He said he won't change his opinion. What he says is truth, and he was killed. The people, the court then killed him for spreading false things among the people. Okay, so Copernicus couldn't prove the statement that Earth is round, and he lost his life. That was the way the people believed that Earth is flat. So after Copernicus had saddened, many years passed, and there came an Italian scientist. And astronomer, okay? So he was both a scientist and an astronomer. His name was Galileo Galilei. L-E-I. Okay? So his name was Galileo Galilei, and he again came up with the same statement. What? Earth is not flat, Earth is round. He made the first refined model of a telescope also. But things were the same. The authority, the ruling authority over there, they were not ready to accept his statement. Okay? So for spreading this fact that what Copernicus said years ago is right, what is that? Earth is not flat, it's a round. For spreading this particular fact, Galileo also was arrested and taken to the court. So judge gave him an option. What was that? If you change your opinion, you can go out. If you do not change your opinion, you will go up. What? You also will be killed. Okay. So Galileo, what he did was, he thought wise. See, if I accept or if I do not accept, it doesn't matter. What? Earth is round. Isn't it? Huh? Whether we accept it or not, it won't change. Do you think if Galileo says Earth is not round, Earth is flat, will Earth become flat? No. Earth will remain the same. But these people around me, this authority, this government, this code, they are not wise enough to understand what I am saying. So they are foolish people. So why should I lose my life for the foolishness of some people? Why should I? He said, okay, if you want to believe Earth is flat, okay, I will say Earth is flat, no problem with that. Right? And he came out alive. And what did he do then? He took his telescope to the seashore. Right? He took the telescope to the seashore, kept it over there, and started showing people that Earth is round. How? Yeah. When we look at the sky, into the ocean, okay, ships will be coming to the harbor, na? Yeah. So when the ships come up, what happens? The topmost part of the ship will be seen first, and the later part will be seen later. Why is it so? Because Earth is round. He started proving people there was nothing else to be done. Right? So he was the second person to declare, to make it as a statement that Earth is round and not flat. Galileo Galilei, you can see in this picture, Galileo Galilei took this telescope to the seashore and started showing the people that Earth is round. That is why when we look at the ships through the telescope, the ships in the sea, we can see the topmost part coming up first and then the remaining part of the ship. Okay, and later there was a sailor. There was a sailor. His name was Ferdinand Magellan. And that happened in the year 1522. So by the 16th century, people had started organizing some voyages through the sea in search of new land areas. Because the people in Europe never knew there is a continent called Africa. The people in Africa never knew there is a continent called Asia. Right? Okay. So they started organizing small voyages in search of new land areas, and we know Vasco da Gama found the sea route to India, isn't it? So the British ships and the European countries started setting voyages to the different regions in establishing some trade links and all. So at that time, every people, see for example, if this is a globe, and here we have America, and here we have Europe, and this is Africa, and this is India. Okay, so all this European country, these people were organizing the voyages in this way to the east. This is east and this is west. Okay, now what Magellan wanted to do was, he wanted to prove Earth is round. Okay, so what did he do? He traveled west. Right? He traveled westwards, surrounded the globe, and came back. Okay, so he went around the globe and they came back to the same place from where they started. They started the voyage from Spain, and he couldn't come back because he lost his life when he was somewhere near this Malaysian Philippines region. But his team, his friends, his other sailors continued the journey and they came back to Spain. Right? That was the first time actually the people started to believe Earth is round in shape. Now there is no such issues. Now we have got rockets and what we call these satellites, artificial satellites around the Earth. Okay, again we can take pictures. Whenever there is a space mission, whenever there is a satellites go up, they take the images of the Earth, and it has proved very well that Earth is round in shape. When Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin went to the moon, again they took the pictures of Earth from there, and from that also it is proved. So now we have got technology. We have got a technology to go to the space, take images from there, which can be used easily to prove that the Earth is not flat, it's a round in shape. Okay, so these problems were there when there was no sufficient technology to prove that Earth is round. Okay, so the first person to declare Earth as round and not flat was the Polish astronomer Copernicus. And then Galileo Galilei, an Italian scientist and astronomer, declared Earth as round. He even used his telescope to prove to the people that Earth is not flat, it is round. In 1552, Ferdinand Magellan, a Portugal sailor who started his journey from Spain, proved Earth is round. Nowadays we have a technology to go to the space and to take pictures from there, which have proved that Earth is round in shape. Okay? So as science and technology developed, we had a kind of eagerness to study a lot about the Earth. Okay, we wanted to learn, we wanted to study, we want to know a lot about the earth. So it was quite difficult because of this huge shape of the earth. It was quite difficult. So they wanted something that is comparatively small, but we can have almost all the features on that. Right? So then we got this thing called the globe. Okay, so globe is nothing but a man-made earth-shaped structure. It's a ball-shaped structure which has all the features on the earth noted on that, represented on that. Right? Earth, the globe is a spherical or a ball-shaped structure which has got all the features that we have on this earth represented on that. Right? Then it becomes easy for us. Okay? If we have to locate different places on that, we can just turn it. Right? So a globe is a spherical ball-shaped structure which has got all the features of the earth represented on that, drawn on that. Okay? If we keep it on a flat surface, if we keep the drawing of the earth on a flat surface, that is called a map. Okay? So if it is in spherical shape, we call that a globe, and if it is in a flat shape, if it is represented on a flat sheet, then we call it a map. Both has all the features on the earth drawn on that. Okay? The only difference is globe represents the complete earth. The full earth will be represented in a globe, whereas map can be the full earth or specific places also. If we want to, we can get the map of earth, but we cannot get the globe of earth, because earth is in the globe, right? So as we started studying more about the earth using a globe, we came to know some specific features. Okay, so we gathered data from the satellites, the people who traveled. Okay, cartographers are people who make maps. Okay, and we came to know that 71% of the Earth's surface is water, which is a 3/4 of the total space, and only 29% is land, means 1/4. Okay, so after preparing the globe, we started studying the surface area of the earth in detail, and after marking all the specific features that we have gathered, we come to the conclusion that 71% of the total surface of the earth is water, which comprises 3/4 of the total land area on the earth, and 29% is land, which means 1/4 of the total surface of the earth is of land. Okay, now we have to expand this water area. We have learned in the previous class, in third class, when we look from the space, or when we look from moon, earth appears appears to be a blue planet. Isn't it? Huh? Earth appears to be a blue planet when looked from the space. Because of this reason, the maximum 3/4 of the land area, the surface area of the earth is covered with water. Right? What are the major water occupied areas? We know we have oceans. Okay, what are oceans? Oceans are nothing else but vast or large or very big water bodies. Okay, large or very vast water bodies which separates the land masses. Right? So very large water bodies which separates the land masses aside are called oceans. And we have 5 oceans, isn't it? We have 5 oceans. The first one is Pacific Ocean. Second one is Atlantic Ocean. Third one is Arctic Ocean. Then Indian Ocean, and we have Antarctic Ocean. Okay, so the 5 oceans are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Antarctic Ocean. Okay, so Pacific Ocean is the biggest ocean which separates America from Asia. Right? We can see it on both the sides of the map because it's cut and spread. No? We have Atlantic Ocean in between, which separates America from Europe in the north and Africa in the south. Arctic Ocean is around the Arctic Pole, the North Pole region. Indian Ocean, it separates Antarctic region from India, and Antarctic Ocean around Antarctica, which is separates from the remaining parts of the globe. Okay, so oceans are the vast water bodies, and other than oceans, there are smaller water bodies also. Okay, so these small water bodies are either completely locked by land or partially locked by land. Okay, so completely locked by land means if this is water, then the land area is around it, like what we have in the lakes or ponds and all. Okay, so either it is completely blocked or partially blocked. Some part of this water body is covered by land and other is kept open. In that, the first one is seas. First one is sea. So sea is again just like ocean, salt water, the expanse of salt water. Okay, but these are very close to the land areas. For example, when we consider, it's a rough drawing. Okay, so we have African continent and we have India here. Okay, so it goes like this, whatever, right? Here the bottom part we have Indian Ocean. Right? It's a vast expanse. But here, this part, this is big, but lesser than the oceans. Again, it is salt water and it has a wide opening and area of salt water. And this is what Arabian Sea. Okay, so the seas are, in simple terms, we can say an extension of the oceans which comes close to the Yes, land areas. Okay, then when we look at the other side of India, it goes and it comes like this. Okay, now here what happens is, the opening of the mouth is less, or it's a short. Okay, usually that area, and this is the Bay of Bengal, isn't it? That is the Bay of Bengal. So bay is the next water body, smaller water body. Usually what happens is it comes like this. Okay, this is a land area, and this is a water area. Okay, so it will be covered by land on 1, 2 and 3 sides. Okay, so expanse of salt water again, which is kept inside the land or land covered in the 3 sides, is called a bay. Okay, so in a sea, the mouth will be big, the opening up will be big, expansion of salt water. Bay is also, and both these things may have all the 3 sides with the water. Right, now another is a gulf. So in gulf what actually happens is, this mouth part is narrow. Okay, when it comes to a gulf, what happens is, this mouth part is narrow, and we have this water body kept inside it. Okay, now a sea is a salt water expansion, bay is also a salt water expansion, gulf is also a salt water expansion. Right? So the next is a strait. Strait. Okay, a strait is actually a water body which is in between 2 land masses. So here is a land mass, this is a land, and there is another land. Okay, this is a water body, this is also a water body, and there is a small link. Okay, so this one is called the strait. Okay, a strait is nothing else but a narrow path or a channel kind of a stuff or a canal kind of a stuff which connects to bigger water bodies. See, when we look at the southern part of India, okay, we have a small island kingdom here, island country, called Sri Lanka. Isn't it? And here we have isn't it? This is a Indian Ocean. This is a Bay of Bengal, and this part is actually connecting these 2 water bodies. Obviously it is connected here, but still here in this part, that is a small part which connects these 2 water bodies, and this is called Park Strait. Okay, so a strait is a channel or a canal kind of a structure which connects to bigger water bodies. Right? Then we have a channel. Okay? Then we have a channel. A channel is almost the same. A channel is almost the same like that of a strait, but it's more wider. A channel is more wider, and there will be some land areas, types of things in between that. Sometimes it can be some inland water bodies. They can be of sand dunes kinds of stuffs, and in ocean seas it can be islands or something like that. Okay, so in between in England we have English Channel, which has got some scattered islands spread over there, right? So these are the major extension of water bodies related to the oceans, or all these are seawater extensions. Okay, so this all, the seas, the bay, the gulf, the strait, the channel are all related to the oceans, right? Other than this, we have a freshwater water bodies also, isn't it? For example, we have rivers. They originate from the mountains, the small streams come together and they draw the water from the resources that they have over there beneath the soil. Or the rivers like Himalayan rivers, they get the water from the melting of ice cubes over there, right? So from there they start and they flow through different regions and they joins the seas or ocean somewhere. But until they join, it is a fresh water. Right? Then we have lakes. We know lakes. Huge water bodies which have got a land around it. Okay. So these are all freshwater water bodies, and other than oceans, the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean and Antarctic Ocean, with its extensions like the seas, the bays, the gulf, the straits, the channels, all these things together forms what we said in the beginning, the 71% of water composition on the Earth's surface. Right? So these are the water bodies that we have on the Earth. And now, in among these water bodies that are present on the Earth's surface, we have these land masses scattered around. Okay? So what is the composition of land on the Earth's surface? It's just a 29%. Okay? So, in among all these water expansions, we have these land masses here and there, and in among them, the biggest land masses are called continents. Right? The biggest land masses are called continents. Right? So the biggest land masses that are found in among this expansion of water bodies on the Earth's surface is called a continent. Okay, and how many continents are there? We have 7 continents. Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Europe, and Antarctica. Okay, so which are the 7 continents we have? They are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Europe and Antarctica. Okay, so the 7 continents that we have are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Europe and Antarctica. Okay, now which is the biggest continent among this? Which is the biggest continent? Yeah, the biggest continent is Asia. Asia is the largest landmass on this earth and that is the biggest continent. Okay, and which one is the smallest? Which continent is the smallest continent? Australia is the smallest continent. Okay, you might have learned this in the previous class and 3rd class and 4th class also. You have learned this, isn't it? Yes. So the biggest continent is Asia, the smallest continent is Australia, and which is known as the white continent. We know one continent is called the dark continent and that is Africa, isn't it? Africa is known as the dark continent, and which continent is known as the white continent? White continent is Antarctica. Okay, Antarctica is known as the white continent. Why Antarctica is known as the white continent? Because it's completely covered with ice. Okay, Antarctica is a continent which is completely covered with ice and all these are fresh water. When we gather all the fresh water available on this earth, then in that, okay, among the total amount of fresh water that is available on the earth, 70% is found in Antarctica in the form of frozen ice. Fine. Antarctica has the largest freshwater deposit in the form of ice, and we know it's white in color. Okay, when we look at the earth, this part of the earth is seen as a white in color, and that is why Antarctica is known as the white continent. Okay, and Australia is there, no? Australia is also known as a continent of islands. Australia is the only continent which has got one major country and a group of islands around it. Okay, we call the Oceania region. The 2 major countries in this region are Australia and New Zealand. Okay, even comparatively New Zealand also is a very small country. It's an island country. It has got 2 major islands in that. Okay, so this is a fact sheet about the continents. So the land masses that are found in between the water expanses is known as the continents. There are 7 continents on the earth: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Europe and Antarctica. The biggest among the continent is Asia. The smallest is Australia. The white continent is Antarctica because it has a large expanse of ice, which is actually fresh water frozen into ice, which comprises 70% of the total fresh water available on this earth. Right? Now, Africa is known as a dark continent. Then Australia is also known as the continent of islands because it has got a large number of islands around it. Okay? Okay, children? So now, that's for the day today. And the same part of the lesson you can read once after you complete this class, because it's there in the PDF from which you clicked onto this video. Just download it and go through the part which we have covered today. The remaining part of this lesson we will continue in the next class. Okay? So till then, take care.